If you've been saving 10% of your paycheck every month, you've been doing exactly what you've been told to do. Financial advisors recommend it. Parents repeat it. Personal finance articles list it as rule number 1. Save 10%. Be responsible. Build your future. But here's the problem. That advice is not going to make you wealthy. It never was. And the sooner you understand why, the sooner you can stop following a rule that was never designed to help you win. Let's start with the actual numbers. The median household income in the United States is around $56,000 per year. 10% of that is $5,600 annually. Over 10 years, with no interest, that's $56,000. With a savings account earning around 1% interest, you'd end up with roughly $59,000 after a decade of disciplined saving. That sounds like progress, but $59,000 is not financial freedom. It's not even a down payment in most major cities. And you spend 10 years getting there. Stretch that out to 30 years of perfect saving, and you'd end up with around $195,000. 3 decades of following the rules, and you still have less than $200,000. That's the ceiling of the 10% rule when you rely on savings accounts alone. But the math problem is actually worse than most people realize. Here's what people often forget to factor in: inflation. Every year, the cost of living rises by roughly 2% to 3% on average. That means the $195,000 you saved over 30 years won't have the same purchasing power as $195,000 today. In real terms, inflation quietly erodes the value of every dollar sitting in a low-yield savings account. You're technically saving, but you're slowly losing ground, and inflation is only the first force working against you. The second is something called lifestyle inflation. Every time your income goes up, a raise, a promotion, or a better job, your spending tends to rise with it. A bigger apartment, a newer car, better restaurants, more subscriptions. It feels deserved, and in many ways it is. But the result is that your savings rate stays stuck at 10%, no matter how much more you earn. Your income grows, your lifestyle grows. And the same small slice gets left behind. Together, these two forces, price inflation and lifestyle inflation, can completely neutralize the progress your 10% savings habit is trying to create. Now here's something the 10% rule never acknowledges. 10% of $40,000 and 10% of $120,000 are not the same game. They're completely different financial realities. 10% of $40,000 is $4,000 per year. 10% of $120,000 is $12,000 per year. Same rule. Same discipline. 3 times the result. Simply because the income base changed. Which means the variable that matters most isn't your savings rate, it's your income. Yet most financial advice focuses almost entirely on cutting expenses while treating income as a fixed number. That's backwards. Saving is not the engine of wealth. Income is the engine. Saving is simply the fuel line. And if the engine is small, it doesn't matter how efficiently you route the fuel. So, what does a system that actually works look like? It has 3 parts, and none of them are complicated. Part 1. Grow your income aggressively, especially early. Research consistently shows that people who switch jobs every 2 to 3 years often earn significantly more over their careers than those who stay put and wait for annual raises. A job change can increase your salary by 10% to 20% in a single move. Do that twice within 5 years, and you've completely changed your financial baseline. Skills, side income, and strategic career moves aren't optional extras. They're the foundation. Part 2. Increase your savings rate as your income grows. The goal isn't 10%. For real wealth building, you should aim to save and invest between 20% and 30% of your income, or even more if possible. Every time you get a raise, commit to saving at least half of that increase before your lifestyle has a chance to absorb it. That one habit separates people who earn well from people who actually build wealth. Part 3. Stop only saving and start investing. Savings protect your money. Investments grow it. Those are 2 completely different jobs. Keeping everything in a savings account earning 1% while inflation runs at 3% means you're losing purchasing power every single year. But when you invest in broad market index funds, funds that track the overall stock market, historical average returns have been closer to 8% to 10% annually. That same $300 per month earning almost nothing in a savings account could grow to roughly $285,000 after 25 years when invested at an 8% annual return. The difference isn't small. The math isn't even close. So here's what you can do starting this week. First, calculate your real savings rate, not what you intend to save, not what you hope to save. What did you actually move out of your spending account last month? Get the real number. Second, identify one income opportunity to pursue within the next 30 days. Maybe it's a conversation with your manager about a raise. Maybe it's a freelance skill you could offer. Maybe it's a job listing that pays more than your current role. Just one move, that's all. Third, open an investment account if you don't already have one. You don't need thousands of dollars to get started. You need a habit. Start with whatever amount you can invest consistently and let time do the heavy lifting. The 10% rule was never designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to keep you from being completely unprepared. And that's a very low bar. You deserve a higher one. So stop aiming to save just 10%. Start building a system that actually grows. Because wealth isn't created by playing defense forever. It's created by growing, investing, and giving your money a chance to work as hard as you do.